Fight Club has to be rejected by men of self-respect because it was created by a man who is anti-male. There's I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but Chuck here, gay man, made it. And guess what? I typed in, does the writer of Fight Club hate man? And it says the book is satirical piece on toxic masculinity. Right. So he's one of these male hostile LGBT types. I always thought gay men would be pro-male, but I was wrong. If anything, they're even more hostile to other men than straight men, surprisingly enough, right? Now I'm going to borrow this guy's video, what is anti-logic, because he points out that it's not just Tyler Durden who is a figment of the narrator's imagination. It's everybody. And he makes a good argument for that. So Marla is also part of him. So when he rejects Tyler and accepts Marla, what he's doing, he's rejecting masculinity and embracing femininity. So it's an anti-male film. Now let's see what he has to say.
Fight Club is easily one of the best movies ever made. And even though so many people find this movie relevant, and probably more relevant today than it's ever been, it's not actually about men regaining their masculinity. It's about men rejecting it.
Exactly.
At the end of the story, Jack ends up losing his pants. Pants being a symbol of masculinity. And we actually saw this happen early on with Marla when she takes jeans from the laundromat and sells them before grabbing Jack by the balls as a show of control over him.
Exactly. So it's emasculation. And this person is this side of Jack is the side he chooses, and that's supposed to be a good ending, right?
This entire scene is showing how she's stripping him of his masculinity. And this is why we see that Jack and Marla look almost identical in the final scene. Jack created Bob, then Marla, then Tyler.
Oh, by the way, Bob is a great guy. So if he created Bob, that means he also rejects Bob, right? I want you to think about that as he speaks.
Then he killed Bob and Tyler to accept his emasculated self by choosing to keep Marla as his main personality.
Exactly. He didn't just kill off Tyler Durden, who's supposedly this destructive person. He killed off Bob, who's that masculine portion of himself, who is a good person. In preference to this hostile female portion of him who hates men, or at least disrespects them, and is hostile to them.
Tyler is supposed to be the manifestation of manhood, masculinity, and rebellion, but he's really not a good example of masculinity because everything he does is juvenile and immature. Tyler is the manifestation of a man-child throwing a tantrum, a man that's unwilling to grow up, and instead of finding an actual purpose, he decides to just knock all the pieces off the chessboard because he doesn't like the rules of the game.
True, but at the end of Fight Club, he didn't find a purpose, did he? All he did was kill off his masculine side and embrace a self-hating feminine side. So he didn't find any purpose, did he? He just became self-loathing.
What's the benefit of pissing in the soup or destroying private property, or even showing naked pictures to kids, which is crazy illegal, by the way? Everything Jack and Tyler do is unproductive, and their behavior is a sign of a person that isn't emotionally mature. Now, I agree that men have become lost and unproductive, and all the...
How can they be productive, right? What's your name again? What is anti-logic? Men still go to work. If anything, they face unemployment because women have work quotas and the work environment is now hostile to men. Besides, a man's well-being isn't about being productive. You can have a purpose without being productive to society, believe it or not. This is about men's well-being.
Instincts and responsibilities they've had for thousands of years have suddenly been stripped away. They feel domesticated and abandoned by modern society. But masculinity is...
Nothing matters. There's nothing wrong with being, domesticated. It's being abandoned. That's the issue.
About using their frustration and energy to be productive. and not just giving in to all your hedonistic desires.
So your idea of being productive is going by this film where the guy rejects all the good portions of himself, all the masculine portions of himself, and becomes a feminine, self-loathing man. Right. Right. There's his friend who was a good guy. So he had to kill him off, right? Right. So it's not just Tyler Durden, it's everything good about himself. Bob was a great guy in this film. You would want to be Bob. He was loyal to him, he was caring, he was his friend. So why is he getting rejected? Why is the best personality of the three being rejected, right? And I got to tell you something, out of the two of them, or I should say out of the three of them, if I couldn't be Bob, I would choose Tyler Durden over Marla. Because that's real self-destruction. Tyler Durden might be destructive, but Marla is self-destructive. And that's what I have to say about this. Where is he again? Where are you, Chuck? I spit on Chuck. And you know why? Because Chuck spits on me. He is hostile to me because of the way I was born. And I've had enough of these gender KKKers. Go screw yourself.